What's up, everybody? Kimberly Olson here, also known as the Goal Digger Goal Digger Girl, coming in live for a live stream of this week's podcast. I'm super excited. We're going to do episode 27, I believe, and we're going to talk about reaching out to your cold market. Who would want to learn how to reach out to your cold market where it's not scary and spammy? I see some spamming happening right now, and I'm actually streaming this live on Instagram. This will also premiere live on my business page on Facebook. So depending on where you're watching this, go ahead and put 1 in the comments if you're watching this live. If you're watching the replay, put 2. And if you're new and you've never seen my videos before, put new in the comments. I'd love to connect and say hello to you. If you don't know, my podcast is called The Goal Digger Girl. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, and I think 12 other platforms. So it's all over the internet if you want to search it and find it. It should be pretty easy to do, but if you want to just listen along today as well, you can definitely check it out in that regard as well. And I'm super excited about this. So let's rock and roll. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and do my intro because I have to record it to turn it into an actual podcast. So hang tight. Welcome everyone to the Goal Digger Girls podcast, where we talk about crushing your goals and creating the life of your dreams. I'm Kimberly Olson, your host, and today we are going to talk about reaching out to your cold market. So when it comes to building your business, whether you're in network marketing, you're an entrepreneur, one of the things, the misconceptions I think, is that if we have a website, people are just going to come to us. You know, I've heard this with people that have done coaching with me. I know myself personally, I started a blog called FitKim.com back in 2011, coming up on 8 years. And I remember building out that website and I thought, wow, if I build this website out and I have blog content in there and all kinds of goodies, people will just come to me and buy my products. So even if you're in network marketing or you have an online business, you might be at a place in your career or starting up your company that you realize that it's not that easy. You can't just have a website and people will come to you. I mean, maybe some of you might be lucky enough to do that, but for most of us, there's a lot more work involved. So it's called network marketing for a reason. So we're going to talk about the work component of it. So after you've reached out and kind of exhausted your warm market, then you're going to get into the cold market. And I remember it was just over a year ago, I was sitting at my desk at work. It was a Friday, I remember, and I had some downtime and I was like, I'm going to reach out to some people. So I'm done with my warm market and now I'm gonna do cold market. And I remember just kind of sitting there really frustrated because I didn't know how to reach out to cold market. You know, there's different things online and all that, but nothing felt really genuine or authentic to me. So some of you, if you're listening to the podcast, I'm also streaming this live. So if you're watching this live, go ahead and put 3 in the comments. If you've ever gotten to a point where you didn't know how to reach out to your cold market, like you hear people talking about it, but when you actually go to do it, you feel really uncomfortable. So just put a 3 in the comments if that's you so people can see you're not alone. And if you're listening, I'm sure you can identify with this. So I found myself in this place where I really wanted to grow my business. And I think that's why I was so frustrated because I didn't know how. You know, I'm one of those people, you guys know me, I'm super productive and just go-getter. I didn't know how, okay? So if that's you, I can totally understand where you're coming from. So I'm gonna share with you what I believe is the best way to do it. There's different schools of thought on it. You know, some people will teach you to cold message. So what a cold message is where you reach out to somebody and you send them a message about your opportunity right off the bat. So you could say something such as, say you make a friendship on Facebook or even Instagram and you see that they have kids and you also have kids. So you would message them and say, hey, I noticed that you're also a mom as well. I actually work with a lot of moms. I'm not sure if it would be a good fit or not for you, but would you be open to taking a look at what it is that I do? That's called cold messaging. That's where you don't know much about the prospect. You haven't really built a relationship yet. You don't know their pain points per se. You might be able to kind of tell from their social media, but you don't really know what those are. You haven't had those conversations. You haven't really had a chance to share your story. So that's called a cold message. So that was a lot of the stuff that is being taught out there, and it's stuff that I was seeing, and I was trying to do it and it just didn't feel right to me. So what I believe, and it does take longer to do that because that's a numbers game, right? You've just got to reach out, make connections, reach out, and some people are going to say yes and bite, right? They're going to say, sure, I'll look at what you have. But that can work, absolutely, and it absolutely works for 6 and 7 figure earners. Like, no doubt it absolutely can work. But I was finding I didn't really feel good about the process. I am such a relator type person. So if I go to a party I'm not the social butterfly that's going to flit around the room and make friends with all 30 people at the party. I'm the type of person who's going to have a few conversations and connect with somebody and then want to spend the rest of my evening getting to know that one person. Like I'm just want to know everything and really deeply connect with people. And so this kind of shallow way of approaching people wasn't really feeling good energetically to me. And I try to stay really attuned to how I feel about things, meaning signals to me if I'm on the right path or not. So I really got to thinking and I was like, it's going to take longer to do it this way, but I think what I'd like to do is really work on getting to know these people, making real relationships, because my opportunity might not be a good fit for them either right now or ever, or it could just be something down the road. It took the girl who introduced me to my company, it took her 5 months to get me to say yes. I wasn't ready. I wasn't at a place to say yes. And so you just never know. Or that person might know somebody, or they might want to become a customer and later they'll turn into a team member. You don't know what that looks like. So what I recommend doing is getting to know people. You can still share with what you do right away, but as far as kind of going for the jugular, I recommend waiting. And meaning what I want you to do is I want you to think about that person that if you were, say you went to fill out a permission slip to send your kid off for a field trip, which in my world at 4 years old, that's what we have to do. Addison gets to go to the grocery store this week. She's very excited. We use like an Instacart type thing, so she never ever freaking sees a grocery store. So that's where we're at right now. So I was in the hallway filling out the thing on the door, and I ran into another mom. And we got to chatting, and she's like, "Oh, your daughter's so sweet. She knows my name. She always says hi." And so we got to talking, and I was like, "We should get together sometime and do a play date." And she said, "Yeah, let's do that. I'll leave my phone number in her backpack." And I was like, "Okay, sounds great." And that would be a great situation where I could get to know her and tell her what I do. Or she might say, "Oh, well, what works for you? Do you work?" And I could say, "Oh, I actually run a business from my home. My company is online, social media." So I could tell her that, right? Well, I want you to think about online when you're chatting with that person. It wasn't this weird thing where I'm talking to her going, "So, do you want to hear what I do?" Like I would never do that in the hallway when I'm signing a permission slip. So why do I think it's okay to do that in Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger, okay, or LinkedIn? That's not okay, in my opinion. I think you have to think about in real life being a real person. So what you could do instead is think to yourself, okay, what would be the natural progression of that situation? We have something in common. Our kids go to the same preschool and are in the same class. We want to set up a play date, okay? So on social media, what could you do? You could find a little bit more about them, find out what they do. It's very easy to ask people, "Oh, I noticed you're a mom too. Do you stay at home? Do you work?" I used to do, I was in corporate America for 20 years, but I was able to quit my job and now I work from home. I help other women build their businesses online. So that would be really easy to ask somebody what they do. But the next step would be to see how you could mutually benefit one another, okay? So maybe you can say something along the lines of, "I saw that you, obviously you're chatting. So it sounds to me like you, being a stay-at-home mom is something that you've done and really loved, and I think that's great that you've gotten to do that. But now that your kids are in school, it sounds like you would like to have something that's yours. I'm not sure if it's a fit or not, but I'd love to hop on the phone to see if we could help each other, if we could somehow connect and mutually benefit one another. Maybe she knows somebody that she could refer you to. Maybe she's an entrepreneur. Maybe she's a coach. Maybe she does digital marketing. Maybe she has an Etsy shop. Is there something you could offer her? Maybe you mentor her. Maybe you say, "Hey, it sounds like you're at a point in your life where you're looking to maybe, have a side hustle. Not sure if my company would be a fit or not, but you know what I'd love to do? I would love to chat with you and find out where you're at and share with you how I made that transition, or share with you how I actually got started. I knew nothing about social media and I've been able to build up my business online in less than a year." So it's not going in it to go, "Will she join my team? Will she join my company?" I'm going in it thinking, how can I help this person? So my goal is to mentor her on the phone. My goal is to get on the phone with her, okay? Just like you would in that real situation in the hallway. Can't have a play date, on the freaking phone or in Messenger, right? We're gonna have that play date, get together and have that play date in person. So you have that play date on the phone, right? Have some fun talking about her dreams and her goals. But you guys see the difference there. I'm not going in it. So if you go in cold message and you say, "I'm not sure if this is a fit or not," it's about you and your opportunity, which is fine because it could be a blessing to that person. Like I said, lots of people have built their businesses that way. But if it's not jiving with you, that approach doesn't feel right to you, you're not going to want to do it. You might be able to push yourself through for a couple months. You're going to burn out and quit. Okay. If it doesn't feel right to you, then you got to find something else that works. Okay. Maybe you do better with online events, hosting parties and asking other people to host parties. Stella and Dot, their entire party model are called trunk shows. We've all been to them in person. You can do them online now, right? Maybe that works for you. Okay, find your jam, find your way. Maybe it's just purely doing Facebook Lives. That's your thing. If you do Facebook Lives, which I actually have the workshop tomorrow, but maybe that's your thing. You find out, you know what, that's my jam. I love attracting people through Facebook Lives. So whatever that is, we have to figure out what that is. You got to find your way. You got to find what works best for you. And you're going to find out that it actually feels so good and so genuine and so authentic that you're excited, inspired by it, and it's going to keep you going. And not only that, your receiver is going to feel that different energy. The receiver is going to enjoy the process. How do you want people to feel? Okay, I have a couple of people I've had friendships with on Facebook over a year. So I'm coming to the point where it's their birthday and I'm messaging them again. And I'm looking back through the messages of our conversations over the last year. And it's been really interesting to see how I've changed, how I've grown up, but also just to see the give and take, you know, how I interact with those people. If you scroll in your history of your last 10 prospects that you reached out to, how one-sided is it? Is it about you? Is it about them? Are you mentoring them? Are you looking for ways to help them? Or is it all about you and your opportunity? So I would just challenge you to get really real on what's working and what feels good to you and find a solution. There are definitely different ways to go about this, but you've got to find out what works best for you. What works for your upline may not work for you, and that is absolutely okay because it's not your upline's business, it's your business. So if you're in this for the long haul, you got to do the work and figure out what works best for you. So I just wanted to share what works for me because I don't even think of it as cold market. I just think of it as finding those new connections and finding people that I can work with and help, you know, and mentor, like I said, in any capacity, wherever that looks like. So to wrap up this podcast, depending on when you're listening to this, I have a Facebook Live workshop on November 20th. It will be recorded, so if you purchase it, you will get the replay right away. Prices always go up after the live, so that is also a benefit that if you grab it before it has already aired. So if you want to get in it, they all happen inside of a private Facebook group. So if you're watching this, you can or listening in, if you're watching this live, you can actually just put in the comments Facebook Live workshop and then I'll get you connected. If you're listening on iTunes or another social media platform where this podcast is airing, you can go to my website or look in the show notes. So my website is thegoaldiggergirl.com and you can click programs at the top. I'll put a link in the show notes. Also, December 8th, I only have, I think a couple more orders came in today. I think I have 17 bags left. So if you want to get in on my social media influencer summit, the link is below. Or if you're watching this live, just put summit in the comments and I'll get you the link. Less than 18 digital swag bags left. And a lot of people want this bag, you guys. It's full of all the presenters for the digital summit are donating content for the digital swag bag. You're not going to want to miss it. Featuring Edith Steinberg, who is a social content strategist. She put together a 2019 social media content calendar for everybody that's getting the swag bag. She has planned out 365 days worth of content for you. So you can just plug and play for 2019. So if you want to get your bag, just register for the summit. It's December 8th. It's myself and 10 other speakers coming together to help you rock your mindset, crush it on social media, and brand like a boss babe. So if that's you, if that sounds interesting to you, or you think it's going to help you with your business, and I know it will be, then just go ahead and put summit in the comments and we'll get you set up. Or if you're listening online, you can or on your phone, you can actually get the link in the show notes wherever you're listening to this, and we'll get you all set up. So that's what I have for you guys this week. I hope it's helpful. I'm really excited to hear how this is working for you. So go out there, do some nice warm cold messaging where you can warm those people up and get to know them first before pitching them with your product or service. So until next time, go out there and crush your goals and create the life of your dreams. And that's a wrap. So thanks for live streaming with me today. So excited to have you guys on, and I will be back on Wednesday night. I think on my business page to give you guys a training as well. So we'll see you back there. Thanks for hopping on, and until next time, have a great rest of the day. Bye.